Welcome to Nugget 344 with Steve and Dana Groman. And this is kind of a continuation of the previous Nugget, and I think this will be our last one for a bit. This space stuff, we could just go on and on and on to infinity and beyond, couldn't we?
Infinity and beyond. It is endless.
We're going to move on in the next Nuggets to back here on Earth, because we've gone to several museums that have a lot of Earth history and things about that from an evolutionary viewpoint. So we want to switch over for a while. But this will be our final one for this series on space. They had a lot on the Apollo missions and some of the equipment, if you want to call it equipment. And it's just, you got to look at this stuff and think, what are we looking at?
Some of it kind of looks like a junior high school project, doesn't it?
Elementary, maybe. Men walk on the moon, one small step for man. And at the museum, they had this giant screen film, Apollo 11, First Steps. And his helmet is always a curious point of this photograph, isn't it?
Yeah, reflections don't lie.
Reflections don't lie. Apollo off to the moon, and they had this little miniature lunar module thing, and one of the interesting points on the sign that was below it, it talked about the lunar landing and all that, and it said, the Apollo program, along with trips to the moon, ended in 1972. And that's one of the biggest questions. If we went, why haven't we gone back?
Right. No, and they admit we can't go back right now.
Okay. Well, I think we had a president that offered all the money that they could possibly have to get us to moon or Mars, and you see we didn't go.
I have several videos that I show that talk about, they say that the most we can get to is low Earth orbit. We can't get to the moon. In fact, one of the astronauts, Don Pettit, said, I'd go to the moon in a nanosecond if we could, but they lost the technology.
They lost it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, lost in space. Just another pun. If you remember Oberth, we talked about him several nuggets back. He's the guy that has the thing that they're wanting to use to block out the sun, and they've been talking about that.
That's mainstream now, yeah.
It's mainstream. Well, this is this guy. Well,
I mean, we've known this stuff for years and years. A lot of it is mainstream.
Yeah,
now.
and now you just have to be an analyst and not a theorist any longer.
Right.
Just analyze the stuff. In Star Trek III, The Search for Spock, the USS Grissom was classified as an Oberth-class starship. Several other Oberth-class starships also appeared in subsequent Star Trek films and television series, and we had shown you these versions of the Enterprise. Again, science fiction and, space lingo mixed together.
One of our lessons, I actually show a video where Captain Kirk was asked a question. And
William Shatner.
Yeah, William Shatner. He was asked, through your career, you've inspired so many about space. How do you balance science with science fiction? And his answer, he said, they're both the same.
Absolutely. That is the definition here. Science fiction, highly imaginative fiction, typically involving some actual or projected scientific phenomena. That's from Webster's. That's not from us. Let me say that again. Science fiction, highly imaginative fiction, typically involving some actual or projected scientific phenomena. That leads us back to the Arizona State University Center for Science and the Imagination, the Tomorrow Project. Watch your children.
Yeah.
Watch yourself. Check out that chevron. What does that look like? You can order our lessons and give them to your family and friends and help us spread the truth of God's creation. We don't have a $62 million budget NASA has a day?
Yeah, $62 million a day.
Wow, we could spread some information if we had that.
I'm telling you.
If you appreciate our content, tell others and repost on your social platforms. Thank you.